Hi, everyone. Okay, so for this question, it's saying that 10 floorboards with equal widths laid down side to side cover a width of this. So, I mean, imagine you have, here's a floorboard, floorboard, and you're just placing them beside each other. They're saying that 10 of those will cover a width of 7 3/4 feet. Okay. Now, they're saying, okay, so 10 floorboards cover this amount of width, okay? And then they're saying, at this rate, which of the following is the closest to the number of boards laid side to side needed to cover a width of this, right? So a width of 32 feet. So what we were given is that 10 floorboards, I'm gonna say floor, will cover 7 3/4 feet. So then they're saying now you have 32 feet, right? How many floorboards? So that's kind of what they're saying. So, I mean, we could use proportionalities here. We can do, we can multiply, we can divide this 32 by however many can fit in it, right? However many 7 3/4, and that would be however many 10 floorboards. But really what I like to do is stick to the standard use proportionalities. Okay, so I'm going to say use proportionalities, which is basically saying that, if I have X to Y and then I have a situation that is similar, I can relate it like this, XI to YI. They're just similar situations. And what we're going to do is basically the same idea. We're going to say, listen, I had 10 floorboards. So over here, these are going to be the floor boards to the width. Okay. So I had 10 floorboards. They covered 7 3/4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this 7 3/4 to a decimal, just so it works better for me when I'm doing fractions. I don't want a fraction of a fraction. So then 7 3/4, we can turn this mixed decimal into a normal one, to an improper. So I can just multiply and then add, or I can immediately see that 3/4 is 0.75. So whichever, if you can't see it immediately, you can just say 7. You can multiply 7 by 4 and then add the 3 all over 4. You can do that, or you can just say, listen, instead of going to another fraction and then going to a decimal, I can see immediately that this 3/4 is a decimal of 0.75. So then 7.75. So then 10 floorboards cover 7.75 feet, right? So then we're asking what amount of floorboards, right? My unknown X, what amount of floorboards corresponds to 32 feet, right? So this is in feet. Now, then really, this is just a matter of isolating for X, right? I'm just going to say, okay, multiply the 32. So then X is equal to 320 all divided by 7.75. Okay. So just make sure over here that what you're doing is, if you have a situation where you are comparing things, so you're given, here's a situation, this leads to this. Now, what if I change the number? What would this new number lead to? Then you're working with the proportionalities immediately. When you see something that looks like that, that's what you're doing. You're working with proportionalities. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to do 320 divided by the 7.75, and I get 41. So I get X is equal to 41.3. Now remember, the question said what? The question said, at this rate, which of the following is the closest to the number of boards, right? So it didn't say what is the exact number, right? It just said what is the number that is closest to it. So over here, we see that 40 is the closest number to the number of floorboards they're actually going to need. So if they use 40, they're going to have a little bit that's not covered, but that's okay. you know, because we weren't asked for what the actual number is. We were asked for what's the closest. All right, everyone, I hope that helped, and I hope I'll see you next video. Bye.